Hi, my name is Olivia. I've landed just in time to catch another segment of Daily AI Prompts for Job Seekers with William Craig III. Today, Mr. Craig will be demonstrating another powerful prompt to help us use AI effectively in our job search. I can't wait to see what he's going to share with us. And the best part is, I can watch the replay on his LinkedIn profile or his YouTube channel at Get Up and Get a Job. Okay, fasten your seatbelts. Mr. Craig is about to take off.
Well, let me ask you something. Is your best work trapped in a spreadsheet? You delivered incredible project results, cost savings, faster cycle times, higher customer satisfaction. But where do those results live? In a spreadsheet? In a report nobody opens? Or maybe in a slide deck collecting digital dust? Today, I'm showing you how to use AI to turn your project outcomes into a polished, shareable infographic, the kind that executives forward and managers share in teams. Yeah. Look, here's what you're going to learn today. The 5 data points every project infographic should include, why infographics get shared while spreadsheets get filed, and how to use your infographic as a promotion tool internally and across LinkedIn. Look, this is Daily AI Prompts for Job Seekers, and I'm William Craig III, an AI business and career strategist. If you're new to the series, my mission is to help you run your job search like a well-organized job campaign, one with clarity, confidence, and strategy using AI as your job campaign manager. And by the way, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Get Up and Get a Job. And you just click the subscribe bell and you'll be notified every time I go live or share exclusive material not available anywhere else. All righty. So with that, let's go ahead and see who has joined us and is making themselves known. John Werner. Hey there, John. John says, hi, William and everyone. I hope all had a fantastic weekend. Happy Monday. I pray we all get an interview and an offer this week. Yeah. Excited to be here for this one. I'm always looking for better ways to tell my professional story, and this feels very relevant. Thank you so much, John, and thank you for being here and making yourself known. Also, we've got DJ Hellick in the house from Colorado. I was putting her in the state of Washington. She's in Colorado. Look, DJ says, good morning, William and everyone. Looking forward to Monday's lesson. So glad. Thank you so much, DJ. Thanks for being here and making yourself known. I know a lot of people are here, but they don't always make themselves known. We've got Daniel Velez in the house. Good Monday afternoon, William and Forever Learners. Thank you. Glad you're here, Daniel. Thank you so much. Planning to be up your way next month. Yes, indeedy. Next month. I'll let you know more. All right, so let's get into this because this is why we're here today with Daily AI Prompts for Job Seekers. Mary plans, find my mouse. Mary plans to use Notebook LM to create an infographic summarizing her most recent project outcomes. List the 5 data points and lay out suggestions the tool should include. Explain why infographics get shared while spreadsheets get filed. As well, get filed, as well as how to use her infographic as a promotion tool internally and across LinkedIn. Look, my mouth was trying to say something when my mind was going, no, that's not the right thing. You wrote this, okay? This is not what we want to say. All righty. So hopefully you got through that. And let's see how ChatGPT helps us with this one today. All right, let me ask you something. If a senior leader had 15 seconds to understand Mary's impact, would they rather scan a spreadsheet with 400 rows or instantly see the story behind the numbers? John, what do you think? Well, that's the power of a well-built infographic. Spreadsheets store information, and they're good at that. Infographics communicate value. Oh my goodness. Look, in today's workplace, visibility matters almost as much as performance. Now, here's how Mary can use Notebook LM to transform her recent project results into something executives, recruiters, and decision makers actually remembers. And that's the point here. We want to be remembered for the work, the fantastic work, the impactful work that we do and have done. So here are the 5 data points that Mary should include, and you should include too. And I just want to go back because I know we have some new viewers and some of you are watching by replay, and I thank you. But here we go. Understand that the prompts are geared towards Mary, our fictitious job candidate. You're going to simply take the information and plug in, or the prompt, I should say, and plug in your information so that you can get the results based on your work. All right, so here we go. Financial impact. This is the headline metric. For example, you might say something like reduced outstanding balances from 70 million to 30 million, recovered 17 million in aged receivables, reduced operational costs by 18%, or prevented revenue leakage. Why it matters. Executives speak the language of dollars. Financial impact immediately signals business value. And the visual suggestion here, use a large bold number, $ icon, and the before and after comparison bar. So for example, that might look like recovered $17 million in one fiscal year. All right, let's move on. Process improvement metrics show how work became faster, smoother, or more scalable. Examples: reduced invoice cycle time from 14 days to 5, automated 60% of manual reporting tasks, improved reconciliation speed by 45%. Why it matters? Because efficiency equals scalability. Leaders promote people who remove friction. So if you've worked on a project in the past, if you're working, I won't say if you're working, well, even if you're working on one, because depending upon the stage of the project, you could actually use your infographic. Last week, we talked about doing those check-ins to give those progress reports. You could use an infographic as a progress report. I mean, number one, it's going to be different, not strange, but different. Number two, you're going to have the data in there to show what has taken place. And number three, it's going to be memorable. It's going to be the thing that gets shared. And it's going to be something that someone will sit, look at, and understand exactly what you've done. All right, visual suggestion, use a timeline graphic, speedometer, visual workflow arrows. Accuracy or quality improvements. This demonstrates trustworthiness and operational excellence. Examples: reduced unidentified payments by 80%, improve reporting accuracy to 99.5%, or reduce compliance errors. Any of these are examples that you could use for this section. Why it matters? Because companies lose money through errors. Quite frankly, that's one of the biggest things. I saw something recently where companies were losing money, but they didn't want to spend the time, the manpower, if you will, to find out where they were losing the money. So they just let it go on, which is where one of my colleagues stepped in and said, hey, I can actually find that leakage for you, and it'll only cost you X amount, 50% of what you've been losing. And one time, and here we go. Now, over time, they're not losing that money anymore. They're not having to pay that person. So it was truly a win-win situation. All right, let's move on. Visual suggestion. Use gauge chart, accuracy badge, green upward trend line. And then, that's okay. That's for my accuracy and quality improvements. I knew something was missing there. All right, here we go. Cross-functional leadership or collaboration. This is where Mary shifts from task performer to organizational leader. So the examples here: partnered with finance, IT, operations teams, or led process redesign meetings, or coordinated company-wide automation rollout. So I'm emphasizing the or here because I don't want anybody to get lost and think that you got to include all of these. No, you're picking the ones that stand out the most based on, in Mary's case, what she has done. Why it matters: promotions happen when leaders see influence beyond your department. And as I was about to say earlier, and I interrupted myself, is that if you're looking for a job and you have actually done projects in the past, you can use this as a framework when you go into those interviews to talk about, in a very visual way, what you've done. So yes, while we have our star stories and those are cool, it would also be great to say, hey, I'd like to share an infographic based on a project that I completed for XYZ or in XYZ or to accomplish XYZ, and to show you just how successful I was. And boom, you're able to share that. All right. And the visual suggestion for this one: network diagram or team icons or connected workflow map. And then finally, our customer, team, or stakeholder impact. And you can do an infographic for each one of these. Quite honestly, you can tell your story through a group of infographics, put them together as a carousel, and now you've got a winning combination. And so here we go. Never forget the human side of your projects. For example, improved vendor satisfaction, reduced escalations, increased team productivity, improved reporting visibility for executives. And this matters. Why? Because great leaders improve experiences, not just numbers. Is a big thing now, even in our culture as it relates to gifts. People would rather have an experience than the watch, okay, or pair of earrings. I mean, unless they're made of solid 24 karat gold and diamonds, okay, but they would rather, which I quite honestly would be an experience within itself, wouldn't it? But nonetheless, I think you get the point here. So here we go. Great leaders improve experiences, not just numbers. The visual suggestion: smiling stakeholder icons, feedback quote box, and KPI dashboard snapshot. So the suggested infographic layout: Mary should think like a storyteller, not a data analyst. Recommended structure: here we go. The top section has that executive snapshot. One powerful headline. For example, transforming AR AP operations through automation, accuracy, and strategic recovery. Underneath, she would have 3 massive KPI numbers, small subtitle explaining the time frame. In her middle section, she could have the challenge and then the solution. Use a simple before and after structure. Left side, problems, aging balances, manual workflows, reporting delays. Right side, solutions, automation, process redesigns, cross-functional collaboration. This helps leaders understand not just what happened, but why it mattered. And then the bottom section could be results in business impact. This section could visually summarize the cost savings, the recovery totals, or the efficiency gains, as well as stakeholder impact. And then she would finish with next focus area or future opportunities, which signals strategic thinking and leadership readiness on her part. Now, here's why infographics get shared while spreadsheets get filed. This is so important. Spreadsheets require interpretation. Infographics create instant understanding and a special stimulation, I will add. We're stimulated in a different way when looking at infographics versus when presented with a spreadsheet. Executives are already overwhelmed with emails, dashboards, reports, meetings, notifications. An infographic cuts through the noise because it simplifies complexity, it tells a visual story, and it highlights wins quickly. It also creates an emotional impact, which is what I just referred to, and makes leadership look smart for sharing it. When they share your infographic, man, it takes their representation to a different level. A spreadsheet says, here's the data. An infographic says, here's the transformation. You almost want to hear that. Ah, okay. And transformation is what gets remembered. How Mary can use this internally for promotion. We talked a lot about that last week. Here's where most professionals miss the opportunity. Mary should not wait until annual review season. She can use the infographic during one-on-one meetings, during those quarterly reviews that we talked about last week, in leadership presentations, during those presentations, those lunch and learns that we talked about. All right, during promotion track discussions that we talked about inside lunch and learns, in executive recap emails. So the powerful internal strategy. So here we go. You would attach an infographic with a short note that says something like this. I wanted to summarize the measurable outcomes and operational impact of the recent initiative in a visual format that makes the trends easier to evaluate. There you go. Simple, strategic, and not in a boastful manner. Big difference. So how can Mary use this on LinkedIn? Because some of you have been struggling about what to post, even though I've given you some recipes using ChatGPT here to create weeks and months worth of material. All right, here we go. She can turn the infographic into a carousel post, as I mentioned earlier, a featured section asset. Now, this is one of those things, the featured sections. And let me just stick a pin right here and interrupt myself one more time. Starting this week, I'm going to be posting a bunch. Did he say a bunch? Yes, a bunch of videos on LinkedIn, on YouTube only. Hence the change in my introduction. All right, I've got a lot of you, and I am so grateful for those of you who watch my live streams via LinkedIn. But I'm going to be now uploading information directly to YouTube. So the live streams are going to continue to be live through LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. But now I'm getting into content. So for example, I was going to save this to the end, but I'll share it now. For example, I'm going to take the time to create a YouTube video to show you how to create the infographic. This is what the infographic needs to do. This is what the infographic needs to look like, but how to create the infographic is what I'm going to take the time to record a video on and upload it into YouTube. Hence, my suggestion that you please, please, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, because there's going to be exclusive material that's not going to be available anywhere else. All right, we're taking it to another level here. All right, so featured section. Many of you are not utilizing your featured section the right way. Some of you aren't using it at all. And if you're that person, I'm talking to you. I want you to begin to create content that you can add to your featured section. So when people visit your profile and they see featured, they're going to see relevant information that shows you as a subject matter expert, relevant information that shows you based on the accomplishments that you have created, either in your current role or in a previous role. Or if it's something that you're building to show, here's what I want to do in my next role. Hint, hint. All right. So please, please, please take advantage of this. Let's see here. Case study. We talked about case studies a couple of weeks back. Thought leadership article, interview talking points. All of these are important for you to use. Here we go. In your defense of why you versus the 368 other people who applied for the job or who are applying for the job. All right, so here we go. The smart LinkedIn caption formula hook. Most finance professionals report activity. Few communicate transformation. Oh my goodness, that is great. Share one challenge solved and then upload the infographic. I mean, it's just that simple. And you can do this week after week after week. Schedule it. Schedule it. All right. Call to action at the end of this post. What's one operational improvement your team is proud of? That invites engagement while positioning Mary as a strategic thinker. Now you could also say something like, what's one operational improvement your team needs this year? Huh? let me know in the comments section and I'll be happy to share my thoughts. Okay. This is how you can work your way in as a consultant or as a permanent employee, whatever your goal is. Bonus Notebook LM workflow. Well, excuse me, chat, giving us bonuses here. Inside Notebook LM, and there's a link here. If you click on it, this takes you to Notebook LM. Mary can upload KPI dashboards, project summaries, status reports, meeting notes, spreadsheets, SOP documentation, then ask prompts like summarize the top measurable outcomes from this project, or identify the most executive level metrics, or turn this into infographic ready copy, or what trends stand out most, or create a leadership summary from these reports. That saves hours. And more importantly, it helps Mary present herself like someone already operating at the next level. And I'm going to use examples like this when I create this YouTube video. And so, again, if you didn't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Get Up and Get a Job. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. When you click that subscribe bell, click the one that says all, okay, that says all. All right. And again, that way, when I create these videos, you'll be notified because I need you guys. I got to step it up for you. I need you guys to get hired. I need you guys to get hired either as a consultant or as an employee. Bottom line, that's my goal for this. We're coming into the second half of the year. Right. I've given you a lot of information from last year to this. All right. Now we need to put it into practice. And over the weekend, one of the things that I realized was that the one piece that I have been missing is to show you how to do this. I'm showing you the what, but now I need to show you the how. I'm telling you the why. Okay. But now you need to see the how so that you can do this for yourself. I've been telling you to do it, but many of you haven't been bold enough to say, but William, I don't know how to do that. Or William, can you show me how to do that? All right. So now I'm going to show you how to do it. All righty, here we go. Here's the truth. People rarely get promoted because they work hard quietly. We've talked about that. They get promoted because leadership clearly understands the value they bring. All of the 15 years that I have been actually since wow, 1999. Sounds like a song. Since 1999, when I started training, because even as a trainer, one of the things that I talked about was the value that an individual would bring because of learning the various software applications that I was training at that time. Now that I've gone into training and career coaching for the last nearly 15 years, it's all about understanding the value you bring. So yes, you need to know how to use this, that, and the other, but at the end of the day, to do what? To bring about a change for that company, that organization, that team. All right, here we go. Visibility without substance is just hype. Substance without visibility gets overlooked. And so you need both. And this infographic session that we just went through today helps to make your impact impossible to ignore. You've got this. Help is here. Again, I'm going to show you the what's on our daily AI prompts for job seekers. Here's the prompt. In some cases, it may be a two-step, and in this case, it is a two-step because now I need to take you over to Notebook LM and show you how to build this out and how to use ChatGPT to get the prompt that we can use in Notebook LM so we can make sure that our infographic is as impactful as possible. All right. I hope that you enjoyed this, and let me know in the chat if you're in for the how-to videos on YouTube. While you do that, I'll do this. I'll get this link so that I can post it here in the comment section, knowing that unfortunately some of you won't be able to see it because you can't post comments to some destinations using StreamYard. And let's see, I want LinkedIn open and I want YouTube open over here so that I can do what I need to do once we have ended this. Meanwhile, back over here, let's go ahead and pop this into the comments section. And let's see, we had a couple of people pop in since we started. There's TJ Richardson. Hey, TJ, glad you were able to make it today. Thanks for sharing. TJ says, Happy Monday. Looking forward to another week of wonderful edification. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And what else do we have? We have Shelly. Shelly says, Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday to you, Shelly. So, again, hopefully, and I got to point this out because I'm looking at my thumbnail here for today's session, and I'm really loving the fact that this AI stuff can actually match what I'm wearing. I mean, that's just too cool. You want to know how to do that? Okay, we're going to put it in a YouTube video, but you got to let me know. You guys have not been letting me know. You've been complimenting me and saying, hey, this has been valuable, but I need you to let me know what it is that you need. What do you still need? What do you still need to learn? What do you need me to show you how to do? I'm going to go back through the various segments that I've already created to pull out some things and create some videos. But that's based on what I believe is needed. I need you guys to let me know. And you know how to contact me. You're connected to me. So go ahead and send me a direct message in LinkedIn and let me know, or put it in the comments. Go to the YouTube page, put it in the comments. Hey, this was great. I'd love to know how to do this, or you talked about the other, and I'll be sure to respond. All right, let's get on out of here. Almost a half hour. Goes by so quickly when you're having fun. I know I've been having fun. So John says, thank you for today's session. This was really helpful. Being in a job campaign, this made me think about how I tell my own story and how much stronger that story can be when the impact is easier to see. Here we go. Subscribe to the YouTube channel with notifications/bell turned on. All right. And make sure it says you use the one that says all. Thank you, John. I really appreciate you. I've told you that time and time again. And I appreciate all of you who take time out to spend with me. You could be spending your time with dozens, hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. But you're spending time with me, and that says a lot. And I appreciate it. And thank you. And here we go. And now we're going to take it to the next level. We're going over to YouTube, and I'm just going to inundate you with how-tos. All right. And then we're going to build into having some guests come on and speak to you, some hiring managers, some recruiters, some professionals in their field, and talk about what's going on in this crazy job market that we've been in for quite some time now. And with the economy being what it is, we're going to sprinkle in a little how to generate income. Oh, by the way, that's right. You've got freeaiuniversity.com. And I have to apologize because I thought I said it for automatic membership, and I didn't. And so many of you were waiting, I saw, for membership. And so I put it on my calendar to make sure I go in on a daily basis now. So if you're watching this and you have signed up at Free AI University because you want to learn how to generate income using AI, guess what? I'm going to make sure that we provide that information to you as well in the how-tos, all right? Because the prompts that I have in there are just fantastic. I mean, they're magnificent. And I still have to appreciate that sometimes there are folks who need a little extra hand holding. So I'm going to make sure that happens for you. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Between today and tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, what do I want you to do? I want you to pay attention to what's going on around you. Crazy things are happening. Oh, my goodness, every day. But I need you to stay safe. All right. And there may be something that you hear, that you see that seems out of place. Please don't be silent. Don't just walk away. Let somebody know. All righty. Let someone know. You be the difference maker. Don't assume that someone else will. All right. And with that said, I'm going to bid you adieu. Let you know that there are only 3 things I need you to remember from the day. I know I said a lot, but only 3 things. God loves you. I love you. Nothing you can do about it. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and on YouTube. Bye, everybody.
Wow, that was fantastic. I haven't been this excited to learn about something since I left basketball. Anyway, Mr. Craig did another great job of sharing an AI prompt that anyone can use in their job search. Be sure to join him every day, Monday through Friday at noon Eastern, on his LinkedIn profile or his YouTube channel called Get Up and Get a Job. You can watch the replays there as well. And while you're at it, share this information with someone you know who wants or needs a new job. I've got to run. My team needs me. But keep up the great work, Mr. Craig. You're providing a great service for the community. I'm going to tell all of my players about daily AI prompts for job seekers with William Craig III.